When we look at the loader crane, it's easy to admire the finished machine, the lifting capacity, the reach, the technology. But have you ever stopped to think what it actually takes to build one? Not just to manufacture it, but to build it well enough that someone is prepared to trust it to suspend several tons high above the ground. Today, Fassi opened the doors to its headquarters in Albino in Italy, allowing us to follow that journey from the raw material to a completed crane. We will be reporting from various departments across Albino and Nembro, those being metalworking, medium production, heavy production, the quality department, the innovation center, and the distribution center. On top of this, we will also be sharing how the crane is utilized in the final build over at Tanner Fahrzeugbau in Germany. Along the way, we will discover that building a loader crane isn't simply about cutting steel and welding components together. It's about controlling every process that contributes to the final result. So let's start where every crane begins, with steel.
Right, this is the very first touch point of the production process of the Fassi cranes. Here's the steel that arrives from Sweden and Finland. This is the high tensile steel, specifically designed with a deflection in mind, because if you imagine, the cranes sustain a great amount of forces when they load stuff. So this is the first touch point before all the steel goes through the further processes that we're gonna explain.
The steel sheets are instantly tested for quality compliance and placed in vertical storage for ease of access and transport by overhead crane. The sheets are then fed through sandblasting and placed flat in temporary storage before laser cutting. This whole process is automated to ensure a constant supply of steel for the laser cutter.
Here what you can see on the screen is called a nesting process. Basically the layout, it's designed in such a way to reduce the waste and optimize the sheet, so the maximum amount of elements is being cutted out from one sheet. So as we've seen on the previous screen, here that theoretical data is being turned into the flesh. Here is one of the most advanced laser cutting machines available on the market these days. Here you can see what the machine is doing. Is exactly following the lines that are pre-programmed on the screen, and currently the speed of cutting is about 3 meters per minute.
After laser cutting, some parts, such as the inner boom, undergo the bending process. Here, pieces of metal are folded like origami. Bending provides greater structural integrity than welding, so the goal is to bend the material in the most critical areas, minimizing the need for welding.
We are in one of the most noisiest parts of the factory. I would like to show you how the pre-bent and the pre-cut parts are being assembled together before it goes to the automated welding process. Here you can see the example of the spot welding. So basically all the elements are being put in a special jig. Then the welder manually tack welds every so often to actually keep the parts together. So then all the process is being sent into the automated line of welding robots. No breaks for them, continuous working day and night. So they always have something to do. And don't forget, every part of the crane building process here at Fassi retains the strict, rigorous quality checks at every point, before and after each stage. Here is the finished product, and you can see the precision of the welds all the way around here, the base, which all forms the column of the crane, which will be married together with the crane base, and the inner and outer boom in the later stages of the assembly process, after it's being painted. In relation to the welding process we've just experienced, here behind me is the automated storing and feeding system, which basically, in simple terms, keeps the robots busy 24/7. So the operations can keep up with the demand as it increases or decreases.
At the end of the loader crane component production line comes the quality test, where a specialized technician inspects each crane column and other selected components.
And what's happening here? We are looking for the inaccuracy. So if there is any spike that goes beyond, above the green light, this is when the non-conformity is identified.
This is crucial for the strength and reliability of the crane.
Okay, so after the production and painting process has been completed, all the components and parts are arriving into this hall. We are here in the medium range of cranes between 20 and 50 ton meters, and here we start with the phase 1 of assembly. This is the pre-assembly of electrical components and all hydraulic components such as the hoses, connectors. This is the assembly of the crane base and crane column.
Moving on to phase 2 of the assembly process, where both the inner and outer booms are fully assembled. This includes everything from fitting the extensions into the outer boom to mounting hydraulic rams of various sizes and securing them with these massive pins.
Here you can recognize the shape of the crane boom. This is the pre-techno version, because it's a medium crane range, which is from 20 to 50 ton meter, which doesn't include techno. Techno means, as well as many other things, it's the X-design boom, which means it's a decagonal boom. This one is a traditional hexagonal boom. And here now we are at the end of the assembly stage of the cranes.
This is where everything comes together. The booms, column and all the remaining components needed to complete the crane are finally assembled. By this stage, the crane has completed an extraordinary journey. What began as an individual sheets of steel has gradually become a fully assembled machine. But before any crane leaves the factory, one final question remains. Does every individual system work together exactly as the engineers intended? That's the purpose of the final testing.
We are in the biggest department of Fassi headquarters. This department is responsible for assembly of the cranes from Fassi 605 all the way up to the 2350. And here behind me we've got two examples of 1050 and 1250, which have already been tested and issued with the certificate of conformity. And before the cranes are issued with the conformity certificates, they need to undergo the final test. And here on the right and left hand side, we've got the two testing benches, and these tests are aimed to ensure the compatibility of all the electronic, mechanical and hydraulic components all talking to each other nicely before they are shipped to the customer. Hi, let's talk about the most important part of the crane, of the techno range. This is the FX990, and it is a crane brain, so to speak, because it tells all the peripheral sensors and electrical sensing valves, and also the digital heart, which is the load distribution bank, sends and receives the information from all the parts, at which state and what condition the crane is, and it tells what is possible and what is not possible to do at any given time. So in short, the FX990, if you imagine the orchestra, this is a conductor making sure that all individuals playing in the orchestra, they sing from the same hymn sheet. And here on this side of the crane, on the above one of the
slewing gear motors,
we've got the D900 load distribution bank. And the most important thing on this techno range is the ability to equal flow sharing at any given moment. So for example, in practical terms, when you operate three functions at the same time on the remote control, for example, you're slewing left or right and extend at the same time, and as soon as you stop extending, you will not get a sudden unexpected movement to the left or to the right, because the load bank will take care of the smoothness of operation.
After the crane is fully tested, it's finally time to send it to the distribution center, where the crane is prepared for shipping to bodybuilders across the whole of Europe and over 60 countries worldwide. But Fassi wins the market with its after-sales system. Obviously, you might need parts at some point. So over here in the distribution center, Fassi has this vending machine parts dispensing device, with the full range of Fassi parts available at a moment's notice, allowing customers to get the equipment running as soon as possible to minimize time when their crane isn't operational.
Considering the complexity of the production process, the extensive quality testing and the scale of the logistics that take place across 5 different facilities, you might think that's where the story begins. But actually, it starts much earlier than that, in the quality department. Fassi determines the parameters and properties of the steel long before it is even produced. Why is this so important? Because it's all about preventing the failures in the field.
Let's start with a material test, the impact test. In simple terms, it measures the toughness of a material and its resistance to sudden, high-strain loads. By striking a notched test sample with a swinging pendulum, the test measures the amount of energy absorbed during fracture. Tougher materials absorb more energy and deform before breaking, while brittle materials snap with the very little energy absorption. The next mechanical test is the tensile test. Here, a sample is pulled until it fractures. In real-world terms,
This allows engineers to understand exactly how much load a material can withstand. It determines the material's strength, helping establish safe working limits and ensuring the structure performs reliably before failure. Climate test chamber. Here, the electrical components used in Fassi cranes are artificially exposed to extreme temperatures and humidity levels. This verifies product durability, shelf life, and resistance to harsh environmental conditions. The chamber can simulate anything from hot desert climates to cold, damp environments. Another test that simulates environmental conditions is the salt spray test chamber. Here, the corrosion resistance of materials and surface coatings is assessed by atomizing a 5% saline solution into a dense temperature-controlled fog. For example, the marine crane components you can see here have been exposed to this test for an astonishing 2000 hours. The final group consists of metallurgical tests, where the physical, chemical and structural properties of the metal are analyzed to verify the composition and quality of the steel.
But this is only the first half of the story. While the crane may be finished, before it ever performs its first lift, it needs to be integrated with the truck that it will carry it throughout its working life. The responsibility belongs to the highly specialized bodybuilders. They don't simply install cranes. They engineer the whole complete vehicle solutions, including combining subframes, body structures, hydraulics and electronics into one complete working solution. By using shared engineering data, much of this work can begin before the crane even arrives, allowing two manufacturing processes to work in parallel. So, after this chapter has ended, we headed over to Craneformers in Himmelkron to witness the next chapter of the story.
So the first part of the process is the arrival of the steel plate. They are being laid out and stored into this multi-story cassette. Once the plate is selected, the thickness is being transported with this overhead slew crane and positioned into the laser cutter. Then it's being fed into the cutting machine, which is being programmed for each individual piece, and you can see the examples of different pieces that are necessary to start the upper body structure. So after the laser cutting and bending, we're gonna move to the next room for the next phase of bodybuilding process, which is welding. Now let us walk into the next room. This is the room where all organization starts. You can see the fabricator is taking the rough edge of each part, ready for welding, and organizing and segregating each part to packages. So each package is ready to assemble and weld into the full complete structure. As you have seen on one part of the workshop in this room here, the fabricator was taking care of the upper body structure. Here on this side, we've got the subframe, which is the lower structure of the full body build. This subframe is being prepared to receive this Fassi F905 in this case, which will be bolted on the front end of the subframe. 100% made in Italy, will be synergized with a 100% German solidity and precision. We've arrived to the final stage of the crane installation process. Before the crane is actually married together with the truck chassis, the technicians are preparing all the routings for the cablings, for the electronics, for the hydraulics. And that's what, in this instance, the technician is doing behind me. You can see the finished and painted chassis. On this particular vehicle, the fifth wheel will be installed after. Also, this build will be featuring not only capability for pulling the semi-trailers, but will also pull the drawbar trailers, and with option to mount the demountable platform whenever it needs to be turned into the rigid mode.
Right, after experiencing the heavy-duty part of truck body construction and marrying that crane together, here we are back in Himmelkron, where the final stages of truck commissioning takes place. For example, here we've got a fuse box and all electric lines, hydraulic lines being all connected together, so the crane and the truck talks together in some form of understandable way. After following this journey from beginning to end, one thing becomes very clear. A loader crane isn't created by a single machine, or even a single department, or even a single company. It begins with research, continues through material verification, manufacturing and assembly, is validated through testing, and finally comes together through the knowledge, manufacturing and craftsmanship of the specialist bodybuilders. Every stage
builds upon the one before it. Every process has a purpose, and every decision contributes to the moment an operator presses the very first button on the remote control. By then, thousands of hours of engineering, manufacturing and craftsmanship are already standing behind that very first lift. And perhaps, maybe that's what it really takes to build a loader crane. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, keep on lifting.